So, stop me if you've heard this one before, but is Sonic as a game based on exploration or speed? It's gotta go fast, right? Well, that's just the American slogan for the Hedgehog. Weirdly enough, in the beginning, Sonic cared a lot less about speed. It was definitely there and prevalent, but they cared more about art and feeling and the core message of heroism and caring for the planet. You can see it in Sonic CD, the Japanese sequel. America got Sonic Boom, but the main theme in Japan is Toot Toot Sonic Warrior, a song with fast lyrics, but not all about the attribute. And Sonic CD as a whole is way more rooted in exploration. To get to the good ending, you need to traverse these really confusing levels that are filled to the brink with alternate paths and collectibles. You have to find the path signs, travel by gaining enough continuous speed, then destroying a robot generator. That, or you need to find your way to the special stages by collecting 50 rings and making it to the end with them. America cares way more about speed, loves it. Their whole marketing campaign for the entire Genesis was about it, even. Blast processing and all that. Those Americans loved a superpower. Then, when the American team made their sequel, it was just like the first game, but streamlined. Every level in this game is a high-octane race to the end, even the special stages. They put enough of them in each level that you can have Super Sonic in Emerald Hill, the first level of the game. A lot of people don't like Sonic CD because of its explorative features and how slow it can be for new. And a lot of people, though a lot less, dislike Sonic 2 for how fast it wants you to go and how easy it is to race to the end and keep moving. In my opinion, both these things are essential to Sonic's core game, needing a strong balance of both, which is why I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of the most beloved Sonic games of all time. Another game that hits this balance perfectly is the very first Sonic game. And that's only one reason why Sonic 1's level design is some of the best in the series. Green Hill starts you out running. Yeah, there's a lot of alternate paths, but I think this level primarily wants to teach you about Sonic's momentum physics, first and foremost. You can't get over the first ramp in this level without some speed built up. In the middle of this level, on the middle path, there's a wall that in the original game you can only break by rolling into it, a move only possible by running and hitting the down button at the same time after you gain enough speed. The whole level is a perfect introduction. In later games, we see areas that only be gotten to with certain power-ups or abilities that we don't unlock until later, and while I love that for replayability, there's a masterful simplicity of the smaller moveset, and such a great way to teach you its uses. Then at the boss, it's Eggman with the Wrecking Ball. This is to try to teach you simple timing, avoid an obstacle and make your jumps precise. It teaches the player that their reflexes are just as important as running or jumping. The next stop is Marble Zone. A lot of people hate this level because it stops you so much, and I hate to agree with the holier-than-thou fans on Twitter, but Sonic is an exploration game, just as much as speed. Looking and finding secrets is a core part of Sonic's game, so this level is here to teach. In Marble Zone, you go as fast as you want to go, and how fast you can go. It's almost a skill check for the better players. Those pits of lava can be jumped over if you're confident enough with gaining momentum on such a small space. So if you're constantly getting stopped, it's 100% a skill issue. This castle has secrets in droves. In fact, the heavy speed a lot of players will be feeling after Green Hill is likely going to land them into running into these secret walls by accident, and learning that the background can be traveled into, which will prepare you for the next level, Spring Yard Zone. Another thing that'll prepare you for Spring Yard is this level's boss. This time, Eggman's got a firebomb to drop on you. It's the same size arena as the last fight, but with a dangerous lava pit in the center. All the jumps you've performed in this level over these lava spouts should have trained you for this. Eggman makes you learn timing and jumping now, with a little room between stopping over your platform and dropping the flames. That's why you'll learn to use, again, Sonic's momentum. Making those tighter jumps in the castle should give you the confidence to try running and jumping at Eggman over the lava if you want to make the boss fight quicker, learning that Sonic can bounce off an object and land back on the platform. And I think it's here where we really see the amazing level design of this game. This entire zone is a symbol of why people love Unleash's daytime stages. There's a steep learning curve and you need to earn your speed. I saw someone on Reddit one time say that Sonic Generations was bad because he kept hitting walls and being stopped. The same concept is here. If you keep hitting walls and falling into lava or pits, you just need a little more practice. These games are amazing and perfect for replayability with highly rewarding levels and skill checks. So, Spring Yard is next. This one's more of a pinball level, really letting you fly with your rolling ability and throwing you around with your own momentum. This area has a lot of secret areas, some not rewarding anything, which honestly I feel like they're pretty disappointing. There's a lot of traps in the level that require you to bounce back up onto these bumpers, which can be really tough. The level expects the player to have learned to bounce off the Eggmobile last boss fight, so is now adding a new layer of difficulty to it, which is to juggle yourself on the bumper and feel more confident over pits to get back up. In Spring Yard, you need to manage your weight a lot more, like with balancing your falling on the bumpers earlier. There's also these really steep hills that require more intermediate understandings with the momentum physics. The same goes for these half pipes, since if you miss a jump, there's not a lot of flat ground to land on, and prepare for the swinging spike balls, which will hit you if you land on the ramp and start slowing down. Green Hill was extremely sparse with pits that could hurt you, let alone bottomless pits. Then Marble Zone had a lot of lava and enemies midair with a lot of punishment for screwing up. As this level progresses, there's more and more bottomless pits until the third act, where they expect you to platform on these moving blocks they've been introducing over a bottomless pit, really trying to get you comfortable before the boss. Here, Eggman is floating above you back and forth. Once on each go, when he sees you below him, he'll try spearing Sonic and ripping up the blocks in failure. Naturally, you want to move out of his way, but if you move too far away and waste too much time, he goes back up and you're down some space waiting for the next rotation. The tighter platforming in Marble Zone combined with this level forcing you to master your movement and weight perfectly prepares you to take on the risks needed to end this quickly. After making easy work of Eggman, you chase him down into some flooded ruins. Spring Yard gave you more speed like Green Hill, now it's back to that tight platforming of Marble Zone. You'll notice that it's a trend in this game to go back and forth between the two gameplay styles. The game has 3 each, switching off every level. Labyrinth is another one people dislike because of its slower pace, and I can't really blame them. It does force you to go much slower than intended. But I don't think that's too bad, not terrible at least. I do wish there were more secret areas or alternate paths though. Other than that, I love how tight the platforming is here. It's a perfect mix of Marble Zone and Spring Yard Zone's lessons. Tight confined platforming with precise jumps. I love the conveyor belt with the spikes above it, so you're forced to jump and make that call. Also these underwater maces that swing out from the walls. Because of the slow motion underwater, you're forced to use very precise timing, but also learn the difference between short and long jumps. These are things that you could have played with earlier, but now you can't get to the end without learning. Each ledge is a different height. Jump too high and you come down slow to be hit with a spike. Jump too short and don't make the jump and then you waste breathing. Timing is the big lesson of this level and utilizing the whole of the jumping ability. You'll especially need it for the boss fight, which sees you chasing Eggman up a pit as water swallows you. There's a ton of maces and darts shooting all at once, so the timing is extremely intense. And you need to know exactly what weight you need to put on your jumps to weave in between each. The final speedy zone is a fan favorite, Starlight Zone. You're in the heights of a city zooming as quickly as you can. The first act goes by extremely quickly, passing before you can even get accustomed to it. Then your progression is halted until you learn how these seesaws work. You'll have to practice the most with one above safe ground before graduating you to ones over bottomless pits. The later parts of this level are nearly all bottomless pits. It's tense, albeit a bit easy. Just like the zone this section is for, this is going to be quick. The seesaws, as you could guess, prep you for the boss, who can only be hit via launching these bombs at him or using a ball to launch yourself up at him. The highlights of this level are the traps. This one helps you fine-tune your reflexes with non-deadly spring traps. Like here, where you're running straight and then the floor drops, but if you don't stop soon enough, the spring's gonna launch you back. Or in one of the few two-sided spring traps where you can easily get out on the wrong side and then get stuck again trying to fix it, and you'll need those fine-tuned reflexes to get past the next zone. There's a trend I noticed, which I think is probably a skill issue that just won't go away, that the main trio of classic Sonic games' worst levels are always their final levels. They always drag you right into the depths of Eggman's operation, a mechanical death trap where his most dangerous creations reside. I find Sonic 1's Scrap Brain Zone the most tolerable of the 3, likely because it's the one I've played the most. Back in high school, I was playing a lot of Sonic 1 on my 3DS in the back of art class. I had played Sonic 2, but I didn't quite get past the PTSD that Chemical Plant's water elevator gave me. It doesn't help that without level selects, there's not exactly a way to replay these levels to intentionally practice them, and by the time I'm at the end of a game, I'm usually a tad bit burnt out, excited for the end. But that by no means Scrap Brain Zone is easy. This is a quintessential final level set for me. Although it's hard, it takes everything you've been taught throughout the entire game and dials it up to 11. Spring Yard Zone forcing you to throw your weight around. The first obstacle in this level are these rotating gears that you gravitate onto once you're high enough on them. If you roll, you can zoom around them and launch yourself like a rocket. It takes really good timing though to be anywhere near precise, and I think any new players will spend a good couple of minutes trying to figure it out. Then we have the crushing pillars back from Marble Zone, but this time with conveyor belts dragging you around each way, meaning you need to time it a lot better, and in one specific spot, replacing these pillars with buzzsaws. They'll even switch the direction midway through to throw you off. The level has some bottomless pits to devour you if you're not careful, but Eggman is a cruel guy. A lot of these pits are bottom. They drop out quick and leave you on the bottom with electrical charges that spit plasma at, eating your rings, and if you panic, you'll just slam your head into the pit cover and take another hit. It's really tricky. Another notable part is here. This pit, there have been times where I've spent minutes of game time trying to escape here. Labyrinth Zone of all places will be crucial here. The maces that teach you to jump at different heights, yeah, if you jump too high here, you touch the bottom platform here. It retracts at lightning speed, and if you were aiming for the button, you'll probably fall onto it, opening the top grate. Now here's the malice in this design though, because these platforms and this grate are both on a time delay. So if you hit the floor too early, then hit the button, the top will close by the time the platforms come back. And if you hit the button, then biff the platform jumps, which is a lot easier than it looked. You'll have to wait for them and the grate to come back. Every trap here is a test of reflexes and mastery of the momentum physics in this game. A skill check for every area of expertise, and it's oddly forgiving. Every zone in this game has 3 acts, the third with the boss fight at the end. This level though ends its second act with Eggman dropping you back into those old ruins. A lot of people hate this act because it's more of that evil Labyrinth Zone, but it's actually really short with the standard trappings of Labyrinth as you make your way back up to Eggman. And another skill check for the final act, where speed is a reward. If you're fast enough, you can actually reach a shortcut before it gets blocked off by this floor, which makes the act even shorter. It's such a satisfying level for the end of the game, even if it can get really frustrating at times, and nailing the Act 3 shortcut is the most satisfying of it all. I think the whole game is such a nicely packaged product, with each of its levels designed intentionally and with purpose, teaching you every step of the game you'll need to know for the climax. And then there's the final boss, which is I like Sonic 1 a lot.